Good afternoon, Southeastern Extended. My name is Max, and today we have guest speaker Lori Rupert, who is the site director at Oklahoma City. Lori, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I've been with Southeastern for almost 10 years, sitting pretty much in the same office at Tinker Air Force Base. So I'm site director for both the Rose State campus outreach and Tinker Air Force Base. So the majority of our students do come from Tinker, is why I sit here more than at Rose State. But we have classes in the Education Center building where my office is, as well as over at Rose State. We formerly had an OCCC site as well. That was that kind of got closed up in 2017 as our students really didn't want to travel there from here. It was about 20 minutes, so they'd rather go across the street. It's only about a 5-10 minute drive from Tinker's Gate to over to our building at Rose State. So we closed OCCC, and then we just have the two locations now. So I do advisement. So I work for the Aviation Sciences Institute. So we do the aviation programs here. We do the master's degree aerospace admin and logistics, which is very popular, and also the undergraduate aviation management with 5 options.
That's a lot. It seems like you wear a lot of hats up there.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I also teach adjunct too in the undergraduate program. One of my masters is in finance, and my undergraduate's in business, so I teach some of the business and finance classes that we have here.
Oh, wow. So on top of all of your other duties, you're also an adjunct teacher.
Yeah.
That's definitely a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah.
Being so far away from campus, what has been your experience kind of engaging with the community been like?
Well, I haven't been there that often. Really, it is 2.5 hours drive one way, but I do interact daily with a lot of departments on campus. The registrar frequently, admissions, both the undergraduate and graduate admissions. Jenny Maple, she's a coordinator outreach, and so she's got meetings that she's included me in on for the advisement meetings, because I'm also an advisor for these people here. So that's been really nice to engage in that. It's been a good connecting thing that's happened over the last year. But yeah, I interact with the departments. Of course, I hear from my department chair weekly as well, and it's really a good in the business office, and not too much as financial aid, because our students get government funding and then some VA funding. So the most I have connection there is maybe with Glenda Langham in the VA area.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, we work with Jenny Maple a lot. Actually, we're partnering with her on a big like game night, trivia night kind of thing coming up. We've got 4 different advisors that are like team captains, and they'll host different teams for a trivia night. You'll definitely have to come to one of those events at some point.
Absolutely. That sounds fun. Yeah, it's been really good to connect as outreach in that way, because it's all about advisements, and she has guest speakers in these meetings that are different departments. And I was a guest speaker once talking about the aviation programs we have here. So it's really been a good connection there. And it's very comfortable working for Southeastern. I know you guys are probably a little bit more family there than we feel here, but it's also very comfortable where we are too, because it's a government. We sit with the government education people and also civilian training people, and they become like family to us here too. So.
Absolutely. Well, one of the big parts of Southeastern Extended, kind of our motto, is that we're kind of like the branches of a tree. So we have, the trunk that is Southeastern's campus, but then there's the family, the friends, the people that are just a part of the city that are all Southeastern, and so it's really cool that we can talk to you today and kind of see how far that tree extends,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know you've got the picture in your background, but tell us a little bit about the Granny basketball team that you coach.
Sure. So I started playing, not with this team because this team is new, but I started playing 4 years ago in 2018, and I found out about the Oklahoma City area Granny basketball from an interview. I was in Tulsa at a home that we have in Tulsa, outside of Tulsa. And it was actually a Oklahoma City station. There's a sister station in Tulsa, but they were interviewing the coach and a player. And I was noticing this interview, and they were in these uniforms you see in the background. And I was like, they're playing granny basketball in Oklahoma City. What is this? And of course, I couldn't unsee it. And a little bit about my background is I played in high school, but I also played in college. So who would have thunk it that someone 50 years and older could be playing basketball again in an organized league?
Yeah,
And
real
it's not,
team.
yeah, right. And it's not just a city recreation league. And there's not too many of them either, but Oklahoma City does have um, women's league as well, which I haven't played in because I didn't know about that either. But so, anyways, this league is nationwide, but it's mostly in the upper Midwest. It started in Iowa and it goes to Texas. Kansas has a lot of teams. Louisiana has one team. Virginia has a team, and Missouri has 3 teams. But it goes all the way. There's like a Wisconsin team, Minnesota. Again, Iowa has the most, and Kansas has the next most. There's 41 teams in the league, and it started in 2005. So
Wow.
yeah, so it's been going for a long time, and Oklahoma just hears about it in 2018. So I joined the team and practiced with them a couple months, and they actually had the national tournament for this league in Norman that year. So it's volunteer to go to the tournament. It's not everybody doesn't have to go, so you just apply to go, and if they can accept so many teams, they'll accept you. So we played. We actually finished 4th in that tournament out of 10 teams, so that was nice. But since then, so I played with them for 4 years, and that team branched, kind of split a little bit and formed another team called the Oklahoma Rockers. So they've been a team since 2019. And then we're called the All Stars in Oklahoma. So we have, again, the team split a little bit. And there's 3 of us from the original team, and there's two on our team from the Oklahoma Rockers.
Oh,
And then
that's cool. So you guys kind of blended together a little
yeah,
bit.
so we're kind of all stars, and we all came. The few of us came up with that name before everybody joined, and then there's several who have not played granny basketball before at all.
Oh,
So
wow.
we have 9 players right now. We're looking to maybe add up to 3 more because 12 is a good number, and we play 6-on-6. So I never played that game. I'm from Michigan, and I played college, and I played 5-on-5. And when I moved here, I started coaching 5th and 6th grade basketball girls in Sand Springs. And the group I was hanging around, they actually said, "Hey, do you want to come watch a 6-on-6 game?" I'm like, "Sure." I've never seen it before, and Oklahoma was playing it, and of course Iowa played it a lot, and maybe some other states. I don't know who all did, but so I went to go watch it, and to me it felt like a really slow game because it didn't run the full court like 5-on-5 did.
Mhm.
And then the same group asked me, they said, "Well, we're going to go play a 6-on-6 game up in Adair, which is up near Claremore." And I said, "Sure, I'd like to go play." So I played it a little bit. And this was back in the early 80s is when I moved here.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sorry, 90s,
90s. Okay.
early 90s. And then in 2018, I ended up playing it. So
That's a big gap though that you were out that experience.
yeah. So I'm kind of a pseudo coach. You see a guy in the picture, that's my husband, and he's coach. We kind of need, it's hard to be a player coach. So in practices, I coach more than I do when we play games. And so he kind of makes sure that people come in and out of the game and everybody gets to play, and he knows the positions and things, and he calls the timeouts. I mean, I might call a timeout at times too, but I mostly coach them in practices more than I would in a game.
That makes sense because you're playing at the same time. That can be really difficult to do with
It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, something that I thought was really interesting, you mentioned the uniforms. So what is up with the 1920s style uniform? Was there a reason that you guys chose that, or?
Right. Well, so the founder who started the league in 2005, she wanted the game to be a gentler game because she was older. I don't know what age she founded the league, but she wanted the game to be gentler. I guess she did a little bit of research, and in 1920s, they wore these uniforms, and the rules were gentler for women. And some women may not like that. And in fact, some women don't play this game because they don't like the rules or they don't like the uniforms. But I'll tell you, if we have The Rockers have a lady that's 84 years old. And we have a lady, the one that's standing next to my husband. You see, she's fairly short. She's the shortest and the oldest on our team, and she's 78.
Wow.
And there is a 90-year-old. She's the oldest in the league, and she plays in Iowa. So we play, there's no running and no jumping in this game. And people think, well, that's pretty strange. It must be a really slow game. Well, I kind of like the slow game now because if you started running full court at our ages, our bodies don't always respond so well. So,
yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. And we're not allowed to touch each other really. I mean, there's some touching that goes along, but we can't inhibit each other. And if we're holding the ball, like you see me holding the ball in this picture, nobody can touch that ball. Whereas in regular basketball, someone could hit that out of my hands and it wouldn't be a foul unless they hit my arm. So in this game, you can't touch that ball. And there's a 3-inch cylinder that goes around us from our bodies to above our bodies. And the defensive hands can't even go over that cylinder. So it's called hovering if they put their hands up over us. And if they put and if they put their arms around us, it's called caging. So we really try it. I like the rules. It's different. And I'm actually a referee in the league as well. So each team needs to have about 3 referees because there's 3 referees that stay on the court all the time. And when we're playing each other, usually we play in groups of 3 so that one team can referee, and then you can play 2 games against the other 2 teams as well. So we traveled to Kansas, and we played 2 teams, and then we ref a game as well. And we've been to Wichita and we've been to Emporia so far this year. And the video you saw that was sent, we were playing down in Ardmore, and the news channel came and did a story on us. And that was pretty cool. I didn't even arrange that. It just happened with my point of contact. And he was so excited to do it. He watched our games afterwards and everything. And so we played 3 games in Ardmore. Unfortunately, we lost all 3. But
it happened.
So far we're 4-4, and again we're a new team, so we're learning different strategies and things to do. But we had a lot of good compliments from that event from the Texas teams. There was 3 Texas teams and the two Oklahoma teams, the Rockers and us, that were there, and it was a good time. It was fun. So
yeah, it sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys are a new team, but it sounds like you guys are starting to develop that confidence. How have you seen your team members? Like, were they all basketball players before, or is this a new experience for them?
Yeah, and that's a good question, because there are some women in the league who have not played basketball before, but they want to be active now. Our team, all of us have played basketball before. Actually, I think I'm the only one that has played in college. Everybody's played in high school. So some have never played 5-on-5. There's one lady who's a forward with me. So in 6-on-6, you usually had a half court line. Well, this game in the 20s has a triple court. So there's 3 courts. So there's a center court, and there's a forward court and a guard court. So we're playing 2-on-2 really instead of 3-on-3. So that's even a bit different. But so there's another lady who's played 5-on-5, and the rest probably you see in the picture behind me, they've all played 6-on-6 before, besides for her. And so we have a little bit keener knack of the game playing 5-on-5, because I don't know, it just seems like a different game than 6-on-6 was. But some just haven't played before. And the thing is, again, we need to be careful, because there are a lot of older ladies, and usually some of them play in the center positions because it's not a very aggressive area to play in, where you're playing guards and forwards and you're trying to shoot the ball or stop someone from shooting the ball. Yeah. You're basically passing the ball from one court to the next. So so we have centers and we have guards and we have forwards, and I play forward mostly.
Yeah, it sounds like the rules that you guys have in place, it makes it physically safer for everybody, but it's still a way to keep your body moving and try something new. And this whole project that you guys have, this whole team is really cool because it just goes to show that like it doesn't matter how old you are to try something
Right.
new, especially having, women that have never played basketball before and they're like, well,
Yeah.
today's the day, I may be 75, but I'm going to play basketball today.
Right.
I can
Right.
definitely be,
There's
that's
no
really
age
inspiring.
limit. One other protection we have is if a player falls down, it's called grinding down. And people kind of yell it out as something fun,
Grinny
right?
down.
But hopefully they don't get hurt. Now we've had some people get hurt from time to time, like they fall on their wrist and they might be the ambulance is called and they get carted off if they hurt their wrist. And it's unfortunate. Most of us don't get hurt, but sometimes we do. But they have to leave the game for one play to make sure they're okay. You don't know if they've hit their head or hurt their wrist or hurt their leg or ankle or something. So
Yeah.
it's called grinding down. And again, they leave the game for a play and then they can come back in after the ball is out of their court. They can come back in. So
That's nice. It's cool that,
yeah,
if they fall down, it's not the end of the game for them. It just means take a break,
right.
Go drink some water and you can come back in a minute.
Yeah. Right.
I wish
Right.
that, playing basketball and stuff as a younger person, those were some rules that they would implement, I played rugby for a while and we had a girl actually break the vertebra in her neck during the game. And my coach was just like, keep playing, like, just go out. You're okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it would be really nice, that, it increases the amount of sportsmanship and community that you guys have because you have those rules in place.
Right. One other thing I wanted to say about the organization is, and I wouldn't mind coming down to Durant with our team, is we do fundraising games. And each team picks a charity or multiple charities. For our team, we haven't designated one particular one because we want it open to, say, some of the ladies' favorites. So we'll do a fundraiser for their favorite charity, and then next time we'll do a fundraiser for another charity. So the 14th, it's Thursday. Yes, we're playing at Tinker Elementary School, and it's going to be their kickoff to their standardized testing week, and we're going to play against the teachers. So again, the shortest lady on our team, her daughter used to teach at Tinker Elementary, and it's of course right next to Tinker Air Force Base here. And we're actually, not all of our team can come because it is during the day. I'm actually going to take an afternoon off to go do this. And we've invited 3 players from the former team that I used to play on and 1 lady from the Rockers. So we're going to get together and play against the teachers. So they'll ask for donations at the door. There's going to be all kinds of kids yelling for us, and that's always really fun. We've also done Shop with a Cop more towards Christmas, like in October. We've done that, and we raise money for the police to go help shop with kids for school, and they give the parents a gift certificate, but they go shopping right with the kids. So we're going to be doing that hopefully in Del City and maybe in Tuttle, because one of our ladies lives in Tuttle. So she's been working with the police department there, and my husband works for the city of Del City, and he's going to get it set up with the Del City Police Department.
That's so wonderful. Like, as much as it gives back to, your girls on your team, it's also giving back to, everyone, all of these charities and stuff like that. That's really cool.
And it's fun. It's entertaining. They come watch the uniforms and the rules and these old ladies playing, right?
Granny down. Yeah.
Granny down.
That sounds like a wonderful experience. Well, good luck whenever you guys go and have that fundraising opportunity.
Thank you.
I have a couple other questions for you. They're not necessarily related to the granny basketball, but just as a person, what are some other things that you do for fun?
Oh gosh, since I teach adjunct, I'm fairly busy too. So in my free time, I love to sail. I'm a water person. Being from Michigan, I love the lakes around here, and I've taken up sailing. I have a catamaran that I love to sail, and actually have put it out on Lake Hefner. And I used to sail a lot up at Lake Oologah when I lived up in the Tulsa area. So I've done that too. This is my 3rd sailboat in Oklahoma. So anyway, so that's fun. And we have pets, and so I love being around my dogs and stuff. And we like also camping. So we have a trailer that we go camping in. Those are things we like. So
That's awesome. Just a very adventurous spirit overall.
Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, that adventurous spirit, what is some advice that you have maybe for some Southeastern students?
I was thinking about that, and when I think back on my undergraduate days, and I was playing basketball. So my advice to on-campus students would be is to study hard, but find a extracurricular activity that you enjoy, because that's what makes friends and memories. So find something, if it's intramural or academic, but find some extracurricular activities that you'd have fun doing, and do that. For the adults that I counsel up here, so we have all working adult students, right? Different customer than what's on main campus. The main question I get here from adults that might be a kind of a life question or career question is, I don't know what degree to get. So we have aviation management as an undergraduate, but they don't know which option to pick, and we have 5 options. So I give them some advice on take the brochures, read the course descriptions, and whichever one that you get excited about, that's probably the one that you want to do. And I've got an undergraduate degree in business. It's done well for me. I've used it over and over in different career fields. And my first master's is in health promotion, and I've used that as well. I've taught with it, and I've had a fitness center on my with a partner. And my second master's is in finance. So I wanted to teach in the business area because my undergrad was, and I just had that desire to teach business classes. And my last master's is in education. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm kind of a life learning kind of student. I have also 2 master's certificates. One's in online teaching and learning, and the other one is in instructional design that I because I have Blackboard courses and things, and it goes along with the online teaching and learning, that instructional design. So that I just finished in spring of 21.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
done. Yeah, I'm done school. But in 17, I was finished with my last master's. 2017, that's when I started teaching for Southeastern, because I had the qualifying master's degree to teach those business classes. So I'm enjoying that as well.
Yeah, once again, like so many hats.
Yeah.
You have a lot of responsibilities in a lot of different places. But again, it kind of goes back to, starting Grady basketball at 75, it's never too late to try something new. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's all I have for you today, Lori. Thank you so much for joining me. Check
you're
back
welcome.
with us in the future, Southeastern Extended, for more awesome interviews.
Great.
And
Will do.
have a nice day.
Thanks, Max.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.